BMAX Audio Adventure. Welcome back to another episode of BJJ365. I'm joined here by the lovely and gracious Irish Keet.
Hi. Hey, everyone.
What's up, man?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Well, I'm pretty good today. Yesterday was tough. I was pretty sick yesterday. I was not feeling awesome. But, well, this made it bearable, though. I stayed in all day, and I just watched UFC and combat jiu-jitsu and jiu-jitsu matches. So I studied film for probably 8 or 10 hours yesterday. Maybe longer than that, actually. But of actual, I intended to for much longer. Like as I was sitting there, but I'd get distracted. But I probably gave a full 8 hours of attention to studying film yesterday. I was trying to like really get deep on all these dudes that are going to be on combat jiu-jitsu, because that's Saturday. What is the date? Saturday, the 23rd. It's the 23rd. Yeah, it's the 23rd. And I was trying to like really study all these because, you know, I'm doing the commentary on the combat jiu-jitsu fight night on Saturday. So I wanted to make sure that, and I want to make sure I got all the guys down. But man, people keep getting switched out. So all of the people that I've studied so far for the main 4-man card, they're all gone. They're no longer on the card. So it was Josh Barnett, and I believe Cyborg was in at one point. I believe Vinny was in at one point. Gordon Ryan, Fabricio Verdum, Rustam Chijujiv. I don't know if I pronounced that right. How do you pronounce it in Ireland?
Let's just run with it. Let's just pretend nothing happened.
I want you to try to pronounce his name.
I thought it was Chiziev, but I don't know.
Chiziev.
That's just my Irish attempt. It's probably...
That's terrible.
Yeah, it is.
That's probably exactly right.
Yours was terrible too, so...
Mine was really good.
Okay.
You apologize right now.
No.
So yeah, but anyway, everybody's dropped off that card. So now the new 4. Let me make sure I got this right. It's John Blank, a.k.a. Thor, out of 10th Planet Bethlehem, in the first round versus Kevin Casey, right? He's got Kevin Casey in the first round. That's a pretty, Kevin Casey, Hickson black belt, UFC veteran. That's pretty cool. I was watching Kevin Casey fights, not yesterday, the day before. And his very first MMA fight that I could find, he may have had some before this, but the earliest footage I could find, he came out and did that, like hands up, like old Hickson Gracie style, hands up, and did the leg stomp to work into the clinch. Just clinch, body trip, mount, slow grind, and then I think the round broke. And then next round again, hands up like a Gracie, leg stomp his way in, clinch, trip, grind. So interesting. It'll be an interesting. I'm actually kind of stoked to see him in the tournament. So him versus Thor, that's a great match, actually. So I don't know how that could go. That couldn't be any less. Their jiu-jitsu couldn't be any less alike. Right? Yeah. What Thor was talking about, I was listening to an interview with him and Chewy on Jiu-Jitsu podcast. If you guys are looking for a great jiu-jitsu podcast, by the way, Jiu-Jitsu is really good with my buddy Nick Albin. He's a black belt from up in the Louisville, Kentucky area. Anyway, he had Thor on there after Thor won EBI, and they're like, "So you got plans to get into MMA? How much striking have you done?" He's like, "What are you talking about? I've never done any." He's like, they're like, "But you wrestled in school?" He's like, "Yeah, I wrestled, but I like pulling guard better." And he's never done any striking until Eddie asked him to do the combat jiu-jitsu tournament, the first one. He's like, "Yeah, okay." And he went in there and he won the whole tournament without throwing one strike. He really didn't get hit too much. Maybe twice he got cracked a little bit. He was like the first shot that he took from Tamden McRory kind of rattled him a little, but then easy work after that. Anyway,
but he's
coming in on 2. He has nothing but 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu. Nothing but. Like no self-defense training background, no striking background. never really thought about strikes, just does it because he likes to grapple for fun and to stay busy. Boom. Combat Jiu-Jitsu champion. Crazy. Versus Kevin Casey, who's strict Gracie self-defense style. I'm very intrigued by that matchup, actually. Yeah. So I'm pretty stoked about that one. Then on the other side of the bracket is Yuri Samoas versus Steven Martinez now. Steven Martinez is a black belt. He's been in EBI a couple of times. He was on the receiving end of a nasty submission from Gary Tonin, I think EBI 5, if I remember correctly. It might have been earlier than that, but Steven was in a couple of the early EBIs. And then he's done some other stuff as well. And I've seen him grapple at like 5 and a couple other shows. Anyway, Steven's a really a very physical black belt as well, not just like a technician type. Like, of course, he's black belt, so he's got technique. But he's the kind that, like, he wants to get physical and smack you around. So I'm very interested to see what his game looks like. He's the new replacement. So next, he's going to be versus Yuri Samoas. And I did watch a lot of Yuri's footage yesterday, which I've seen tons of Yuri in the past anyway. I'm actually a really big fan of Yuri's passing style.
Yeah, love it.
I'm a big fan of his passing style. Heavy pressure, gets up on his toes and gets mobile. So that's a good matchup. And, of course, Samoas is as decorated as you can be as a Brazilian jiu-jitsu player. You know, world champion, ADCC champion. So
any of his losses are to other guys.
Yeah, it'd be like to Keenan yeah. So like real dudes. So he doesn't lose matches to like quote unquote normal black belts.
Getting interviewed, I think it was on one of the Combat Jiu-Jitsu previews.
Wait, say his name again.
Tor.
No. One more time.
There's no H in there.
Wait, no, let's just stop. Let's give like 2 seconds of silence, and then you just say that one word, and then 2 seconds of silence afterwards. Ready?
Tor.
That was perfect.
Beautiful. He was talking. This was before Josh Barnett was pulled out of the Combat Jiu-Jitsu. He was saying, so you're saying the worst thing that could happen to me is I could get knocked out by Josh Barnett? That's amazing. That's not even a bad thing.
Yeah, I saw him in that interview in the countdown. And then Josh Barnett had this really great countdown too. Dude, I probably watched 2 hours of footage just on Josh Barnett yesterday, just trying to like pull out his tendencies, which it's kind of tough. It was kind of tough though. I mean, you see that he obviously, like, he's going to be looking to, like, ground and pound and punish and stuff like that. But it was hard to see his tendencies because, a lot of his fights were 15 years ago, 18 years ago. And you're like, man, I can imagine how much different I'm going to look in my jiu-jitsu in 18 years, in my habits and my go-to techniques. I mean, my game can look different a lot of times just in the course of like 6 months. So there's no telling. Like, you can't trust 15-year-old footage. Nope. Not really. Unless a guy hadn't been training. And then you still can't trust it because it's not going to, hey, you better be careful moving that microphone around, dude. It's going to give you that crackling noise.
We all good now.
Oh, yeah, that's what you think till the crackles come out. It'll make me smack you. Guys, I don't smack Keith. I like to talk big.
Only sometimes.
I'm not abusive. I just want to be. Does that count? All right. So anyway, I didn't come here to talk to you about combat jiu-jitsu, to be honest with you. Let's talk about Kron Gracie. What did you think about watching the UFC last night?
UFC was good, but Kron, that was just flawless. That was a perfect performance.
It was incredible, right?
The timing on his shot from everything after that was just amazing, incredible to watch.
I was not surprised at all with the way it went down once they got contact, once it turned into a grapple, even on the feet. But I was a little surprised that Caceres didn't get some extra work in on the feet, but he didn't. He didn't get any work in. I mean, Kron walked him down and took what he wanted.
He had an almost side kick. That was it.
Yeah. You know, Caceres is, I don't know how many times you've seen him fight.
Yeah.
He's very good.
Yeah.
That's no joke. Like, Caceres fought Jason Knight, who I've done some work with. And they had a great fight. Jason got on his back and choked him, if I recall correctly. Jason choked him with a rear naked, body triangle rear naked, yeah. Caceres fought and beat Cole Miller. He's fought some good dudes, man.
Yep.
And he's a highlight reel. He's a walking highlight reel. And Kron shut him off completely. Just totally shut him down. 0 offerings from Caceres. And from the second that Kron touched him, you could see the levels were, and Caceres was a pretty decent grappler, dude. The levels were just so far apart. So once Kron got it to the ground and had the back, you saw he only had that top hook, right? He had the bottom hook. The knee was slid to the inside, but he just kept the seat belt. And rather than trading positions so that he could punch more effectively, he's just like, nah, this is the end of the fight. He just kept the seat belt and he let Caceres do the positioning. Caceres made the positioning for him. And so then the bottom hook came in. Once the bottom hook came in, it was lights out. The way that Kron slid that choke from his, I can't remember which arm he choked with. I think he started with the right arm seatbelt, if I recall correctly. It might have been right arm seatbelt and left arm miss. Anyway, he starts to put in the choke on the top side, on the strong side, and then he used the defense that Caceres put together to pull his hand through, and that's how he slid under the chin. It was so, like, it's one of those little things, but it was so flawlessly executed at the highest of black belt standards. It was gorgeous. Go back and watch how he slid under the chin and how he got his bottom hook. It was the highest expression of jiu-jitsu that you can find, or of killing jiu-jitsu. I think you can see some super high level jiu-jitsu and the passing and stuff of really good guys, but man, you never see jiu-jitsu executed at that level in the UFC. It's almost never do you see something that beautiful. So, dude, I'm so on the Kron hype train right now. I'm so excited to watch his next fights.
Me and Scaff were getting so nervous just watching it yesterday. I was kind of joking, just saying this wasn't even just for Kron or the family. This is for jiu-jitsu. And Scaff was like, "No, this is for me. Kron's doing this for me."
Yeah, man, for real. I get that. Okay, I got something else to say though, and I got some criticism to lay down for the UFC and for ESPN. I was so pumped. I was so hard on the ESPN Plus app. I was so hard on that train. I was ready to go. I got it. It had been working out. And then last night, we don't have cable at my house. We don't have ESPN on the TV. I got the ESPN Plus subscription, though. I've been waiting for this fight. I knew this was the first fight on ESPN. I'm going to be able to watch it at home, and I was sick, dude, so I wasn't trying to get out and go nowhere. Bro. I'm talking to Scaff on text. We're talking about a couple of the prelim fights. And he's like, "You going to watch the fight?" I was like, "Yeah, I got the ESPN app, no problems." He's like, "It's not going to be on the app. It's only on TV." So I've been paying this, and he was right, by the way. I've been paying this subscription to ESPN Plus, and I have no idea it's only $5 a month, so it's not that big a deal. But principally, it's a very big deal, and that matters way more to me than the $5. What have I been paying for? They showed a couple of the fights only on the ESPN Plus thing. Their first thing that they did, you had to watch it on ESPN Plus. And I thought that was what it was always going to be. That's the way they kind of marketed it. Or maybe I just misunderstood. That's possible. But still, dude, I don't know. I'm real irritated about the whole situation. Now, listen to this. And then, so I'm like, I called my mom, and I was like, "Mom, I need your login for your Charter cable account for your Spectrum so that I can pull up ESPN on my TV." So I was going to use my mom's login. So I got it all working, built their account, because, of course, my mom has no idea how to make an account for anything on the internet. It's great. Watching her use Facebook and Instagram is super fun. You should follow her just to watch how bad she is at the internet. God bless you, Mom. You're my favorite. I don't remember what I was saying. Oh, yeah. So I get it all plugged up, made their account, hooked it all up to my TV. Boom. Now I got Charter cable on my phone. Great. Pull up the ESPN app. Bro. ESPN, which comes with a basic cable package. Every cable package in the world has ESPN. But they won't let you watch it. It's not like the only channel that you can't watch from your phone. So some kind of other... Dude, I was so mad. So I tried to pay ESPN. I did pay them. And then I just nah, bump this, dude. I'm going to find an illegal stream. I try not to do that. I always try not to. I try to support. I gave it my honest effort. But then I went illegal stream. And I'm probably going to do that from now on. So y'all can eat that. But don't watch an illegal stream on Saturday for Combat Jiu-Jitsu Fight Night. Here's an app I do love, UFC Fight Pass. And that's where the Combat Jiu-Jitsu is going to be streamed to. Fight Pass is the best $10 you can spend every month as a combat sports fan. It's like Netflix, but for punching people and trying to kill them. It's great. So anyway, I really liked the ESPN app. I'm just disappointed about the way that they've got it set up. The app was great. I was pumped.
That's like what Fight Pass is in Ireland. Even if we pay for Fight Pass, we still don't even have an option to pay for the pay-per-view of the main event. We can only get the early prelims and the prelims.
Wait, what do you mean? You can't get a pay-per-view in Ireland?
No, we can watch it for free on a certain TV station, but we can't. We don't have the option to pay for pay-per-view. So it's free to us.
Off the app.
Yeah, off the app.
And that's why you can't watch. So it's okay. That's different.
Yeah. So there's a thing called BT Sport where that's where we
I guess it's not different, dude, because that could have happened last night for me. I could have just, like a normal person, had access to ESPN and watched it.
But, yeah.
I was just, I still want to punch him in the face. I canceled it. I canceled it on the spot before the card even started. Like, bump that. I'm never paying for this. Even if it's going to be useful later, I'm not paying for it. I'd rather, I don't know. I'm just mad about it still. I'm salty, bro. I got problems. You know what? Something that usually will make me feel a little bit better, though, is some toe hold flip-flops. I don't know if y'all heard, but they do customized, personalized, handmade leather flip-flops. That's right, toe hold. TOE_HOLD on the IG. That's Instagram for those of you that are like my mom and not hip. Look him up. Shoot him a DM, Mom. Direct message. He's gonna. Hey, quit laughing, dude. I'm trying to cut a promo. You're messing it up. AG's gonna be so mad at you for messing up that perfect promo. AG, I want you to slide in Keith's DMs and tell him that he ruined it. And then he's gonna ask you for a discount like anybody else can do. If he mentions this podcast, I want you to give him a discount anyway, despite the fact that he ruined this perfect promo. And if you're out there listening and you want a discount, just slide in them DMs and get it, girl. BMAX Audio Adventure.